What's your main, when you go into atheist rooms, what's your main, like, do you ask questions or do you let them ask you questions? How do you usually have a conversation?
It's always open-ended.
Fair enough.
Sometimes I'm invited, sometimes I'll ask questions.
I got you.
Okay.
I really wanted to continue our discussion from last night. I thought we were getting to some good stuff. It was.
Look, I may get frustrated, but as long as somebody's not being a jerk with me, there's no reason for me to get indignant.
Right.
But you see, many of these people, use deception, lying, evasion. They're passive aggressive as a strategy. And you know what? Listen. I wasn't born yesterday.
I get you.
Did you ever listen to that debate? I know we were talking about Kazakh skeptic. He debated a Christian recently, and he spent like 20 minutes talking about him really wanting to find faith in God and him going to Bible studies regularly.
Yeah, I don't believe him. I don't believe
You don't believe that he attends those Bible studies?
No. I think he's just doing this to collect ammunition for his career as an atheist. Just same reason why he's trying to get a degree in theology.
Yeah, see, he even used that, and he said, I went to a theological school so I could find God. I'm like,
look, I watched a Muslim apologist, a guy who I've seen a number of times before, who is a pretty smart Muslim, okay? And he asked him, is it objectively wrong to rape or something like that? And Cosmic Skeptic didn't skip a beat and said, it is objectively true that society has decided that rape is wrong. Which was a devious answer to the question. He didn't answer the question. Okay?
What was the question again? Is it objectively true that rape is wrong?
I'm trying to recollect what the question is. I think, is it objectively wrong to rape? Okay. And so he said, it's objectively true that we have agreed societally that rape is wrong. But that's not an answer to the question.
No.
Okay.
I mean, it's an indirect answer, but it's not a direct answer.
No, it wasn't. No, it was a very cleverly worded deceptive response.
Equivocation. Yeah.
So I could say no directly and give an explanation why I believe that. Like, to answer in the way that he did, yeah, that's. I mean, it is an answer, and you can pick up on the subtext, but it's not a direct answer.
It's not an answer to the question.
It is. It's just not a direct one.
No, it's not. What he's answering is that it's objectively true that society advocates certain norms. But it's not that the norm itself is objectively correct or true.
I see what you're saying.
And he's smart enough that he realized what he was doing. And the Muslim apologist knew exactly what he was doing.
There was something I wanted to ask you, and I forgot what it was. Brain fart. Damn it. I'm going to remember like an hour later.
It's all right. I'm just making myself something to eat.
So did you hear that debate?
Which one?
It was recent with Cosmic Skeptic and that guy on Free Will or something. I don't remember his name. Jonathan McClatchy?
No. Well, I know of Jonathan, but I haven't listened to the debate.
It was a discussion on free will.
I'm still trying to finish up my 144 volume set of debates that the great Joe Bro has had on the internet, and I'm not quite done yet.
I'm not really proud of many of them.
I loved the one when you called into Matt the Labloviator. Remember when he called you a piece of
I know. I think that was his one of the highest viewed videos in that time frame. Yeah, he was like, "Hang up on this piece of." Yeah, he's crazy.
Well, Matt the Labloviator, in my biased opinion, is a shallow man.
I really think he thinks God.
Oh, well,
I mean it.
To cut that baby out of his way. That's what it says.
That's not what it says.
Oh, Exodus. Just go look at it. Look it up. Google it.
Like I said, I'm very familiar with that. Once again, I don't even conduct Bible study with atheists.
Well, how do you know Jesus was actually?
You're more than free to believe what you want about Scripture. I'll just leave it at that. But if you're attempting to convince me of something, well, then you're barking up the wrong tree.
No, I don't think anybody can convince you that you're wrong about Jesus.
There you go.
Are you talking about the miscarriage test? When you say he's got the right to cut the baby out of her?
Did you hear the part about cutting the baby out?
Oh, you need to read it. That's not what it says.
Thank you. Even Haiti knows that, sir.
Even I.
Okay, then I'll go find it, okay? And I'll read it to you.
Yeah, I'll just take a break if you're going to do some kind of, polemic. I mean, I don't know what you're attempting, but go for it. Do what you got to do.
That will kind of be considered as an abortion procedure, wouldn't it?
Well, he demonstrated his own inconsistency because you were just verbalizing what you were thinking. Okay?
Well, Sean had appealed to philosophy, saying that Mo knew nothing about philosophy or something like that. So I thought maybe he was implying that philosophy is the end-all, be-all when it comes to.
That's retarded. That's the most retarded thing I've heard you say in the last 10 minutes.
Okay, so if it doesn't, then whether Mo knows anything about it or not would be completely irrelevant, right?
No.
Okay,
Philosophy is just a method of reasoning.
Mo happens to be ignorant on a bunch of stuff that couldn't even get us to truth. What would
Who cares
change his
about
life?
that? Who cares about that? Who cares about that?
Well, apparently you do, because you said Mo didn't.
No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I
Then
don't.
why did you say Mo?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you why. Because philosophy is pertinent to these discussions. It doesn't have anything to do with truth. If we were talking about fixing cars, I would expect you to know something about fixing fucking cars. Matt doesn't know. Mo doesn't know. Neither does Matt know a single fucking thing about fixing fucking cars.
So when you tell Mo he's wrong and what he believes is true, he can just laugh at your face because philosophy doesn't lead to truth, right?
Shut up, Matt.
Look at the immaturity with Sean. This is what you get. Oh, what up, bro? Your penis is so big, you motherfucker.
Goddamn right. Don't move that guy's face.
Where's your argument that I don't know
I love
a single thing about fixing cars?
There's no argument needed. It's obvious. Shut up.
Okay, so you don't have an argument.
I'll debate you about how much weight you should lose.
So, Sean, when is your next therapy appointment? Are you late for it already to be here?
No, I'm not. I'm not beta. I don't go to therapy.
There's a Sean meltdown incoming.
Still don't even really know what humanist philosophy means.
I think humanism is a religion, not a philosophy. I mean, you could make the argument that all religions are a type of philosophy, really, in some way.
Well, humanism really does talk about life after death. It's an essential part of a religion.
There's some religions that don't have life after death, aren't there? Like some secular, that theism. I think there's some. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. You just give me a pet project.
No problem. I think that's part of how religions are defined, that they at least speak about what would happen after death.
Religion is basically our quest to find the unknowable. Before we had science, religion was a place you went for knowledge. Well, I mean, there was still sciences like stuff, but it wasn't as, we didn't have the methods that we use. Yeah, so if you had questions you didn't know the answer to, usually you just went to church. You went to religious people for the answers. That's who you went. Or, or your shaman, or your spiritual leader, or your prophets, or...
Sorry about the damage I've caused you, Sean. You're on my block list now, so you don't have to hear my painful words.
Well, it's clearly distressing to you, Sean, and I don't want to cause this kind of emotional stress to you, but I really am sorry.
That's so weird. Why would you fake apologize?
It's an honest. I am honestly apologizing to you. You seem really, really upset.
Yeah, but you're not being sincere.
I thought we were clowning and memeing, like having a good time. It's the internet. Like, you don't even know my real name. And you seem really, you were upset enough to request mods and then block me 3 minutes after I stopped speaking. Like, that's real hurt there, bud. And I didn't mean to cause that to you. I'm not here to, cause actual tears.
Why are you insincerely...
Yes. Gotcha. I'm gonna look at that real quick. I think I'm gonna watch Black Widow tonight. You're in love with Scarlett Johansson. No, I don't dislike her. I think she's a good actress. I think she's attractive. Let me see who wants to come up here. Okay, here comes trouble. John, logical, plausible, probable is coming up. What's logical, plausible? Logical, possible, probable, possibility, John. What's up, Gareth? How you doing? John, were you a fan of the late, great Robert Schuller, Possibility Thinking? Remember him? No. Logical, possible.
It's a logical, plausible, probable. Thank you very much.
Hey.
But I'm curious about them.
Hold on a second. I'm going to embarrass you, sir. Okay? And there's nothing you can do to stop it. Joe Bro, do you know who John is in love with? He has a massive crush on Gut-Sick Gibbon. Who? A evolution apologist named Gut-Sick Gibbon. Isn't that true, John?
Well, yes, it was up until the time that she decided that she might prefer to mate with a chimpanzee over me, and I just wasn't able. There was the breaking point for me. I wasn't able to keep going.
Oh my gosh, she looks terrible. Wow.
Isn't she cute?
No, she's not. She looks horrible. The guy is still good like that. You know.
Hey, listen, Darth. Her fiance, who's a coder, told her that the genetic code isn't a code. That's one of the moments from my debate with her that when she said that, I was just like, okay, the under 25 demographic no longer actually uses critical thinking. If this chick is about to, did you know that she's working on her PhD right now? That scared the crap out of me. I was like,
did you actually think that she was attractive?
I don't know.
No, I'm teasing. I'm teasing, John.
Yeah, she looks worse than.
No, even isn't it? I don't know. Have you had a chance to take a look at Eugene Koonen's book, A Logic of Chance?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I haven't. I've read the first couple of chapters, and even though I completely disagree with him, I am very impressed by his intelligence and his academic prowess.
Means that the thing has a mind, right? But I don't think that the only two options is either a mind.
Wait a minute. I don't necessarily hold that a creator has to have a mind, because I don't necessarily think that you have to have a mind to be totally aware of everything. Like, why would you need a mind
if you have any if you have any awareness, then you have a mind, right?
No, you're just looking at it through a human perspective. Like, that's all.
Look, I just think that when you say creator, that would have to mean that
looking at it through a human perspective?
If it's created, then it had to be brought about intentionally, right? And to have intentions, you have to have a mind, retard.
Well, you know, that's just your fucking dumbass way of explaining it, because
look, I'm just telling you the definition.
I'll let you talk. Now let me fucking talk. Just because your mind is confounded to fucking the logics of man doesn't mean everybody else's. You know what I'm saying? Not everything has empirical evidence behind it. You know, that's why there's fucking theory and logic.
So what part do you disagree with? Do you disagree that if something is created, it has to be brought about intentionally?
Exactly.
What's your definition of create?
My definition of create is just bringing something into fundamental reality. I mean, bringing like your thought process into
fundamental reality.
Do you not understand what that is?
No, I don't know the difference between reality and fundamental reality. Like, do you mean what does that mean? I don't think you even know what you mean, sir.
Of course I know what I mean. I'm fucking
mindful. Then say what it means. Then say what it means.
When I speak, I know what it means.
Then say what it means. Now watch everybody fail to tell us the difference between reality and fundamental reality. Watch him fail.
I don't fail when I say something like that.
See? He can't do it. He can't do it. He's been exposed.
I can do it just
then do it. Do it, bitch. Do it, bitch.
Excuse me.
He can't.
Is this what you refer to as like personal attacks? Is that what you do? Is go to personal attacks when you don't understand something that someone?
If he could, he would, but he can't, so he won't.
Stop muting.
So you left the room to
listen. If you'd shut the fuck up your loud mouth for a minute, I'll tell you. Fundamental reality is something that you can put your hands on, that you can touch, that is fucking empirical, that you know is there. The real reality behind the situation is you may not know what the fuck it is that you're touching, and it's just your perception. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Why would you say that?
Gablis, this guy is not like
Sean, shut the fuck up. Go take your medication. Go deal with your mom and daddy issues and stay out of fucking grown people's conversation.
he's not all there, so insulting him is kind of like...
Let him talk, Sean.
You're not all there, Sean. We all know that.
Just so you know, Godless.
What's the difference between reality and fundamental reality?
The reality of the situation is there has to be a creator. Do you not get that?
He can't do it. He can't explain the difference. Like, you expect the room to believe right now that you could prove me wrong and explain the difference, but you're just too busy or something? You could make me look stupid right now, but you won't do it.
Listen, do you know what empirical evidence is compared to like fucking a theory?
Well, scientific theories are about empirical evidence, sir.
No, that's wrong.
I don't see what that would have to do with reality.
No, that's fucking the stupidest thing I heard anyone say. Like, no, theory is not always based on empirical evidence. Do you not understand?
You responded by asking me a question. How is that explaining the difference? He can't explain the difference.
I didn't ask you shit. You asked me a question.
You said, do I know what you just asked me?
It's not my responsibility to fucking...
You just asked me, do I know what empirical evidence is, retard?
You said no.
You just asked me, do I know what empirical evidence is, moron?
Right, and you said no. So then you asked me a question, you answered my question, and then you asked me a question to explain something to you that you don't understand.
Is there anybody in here that believes he's capable of explaining what the fuck he meant when he said reality versus fundamental reality?
He's literally like a crazy person.
I just think he's really stupid. I don't know about crazy.
Yeah, that's it. I'm really fucking stupid. That's right.
Well, I think you could be smart and crazy like me.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
There's a reason. Yeah, I just picked 108.
I mean, like, homeless guy
just because I'm fucking so stupid, right? Like, I have no understanding of life. Like, I don't have my own fucking experiences. Like, I'm not here on this earth with you guys. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're the smartest people ever.
No, you're on Mars.
Now you sound crazy, sir. You're just, like, saying nonsense. Like, it's just nonsense. Whoever said anything about you, like, what are you talking about? What are you even talking about?
What are you fucking talking about when fucking Sean says that I'm stupid and I don't know what I'm talking about? Like, what do you...
I mean that you're unintelligent and uneducated.
You think I'm unintelligent and uneducated? What's your definition of fucking being intelligent and educated?
Like your knowledge of general facts, your IQ, your ability to reason. See, I can say what I fucking know what I mean when I speak, so I can fucking say it. Unlike you.
I know what I mean when I say it too. I'm not a fucking idiot, Carlos girl. I don't give a fuck.
You are. You are.
No, that's just your opinion, your subjective opinion. You understand? Because I guarantee you, if you and I were standing side by side, and there was a fucking task of 10 things for us to do, I bet you I could complete them 10 tasks fucking a lot better and faster than you any day.
What, menial labor, like assembling sandwiches?
Anything, because you're just fucking putting knowledge and intelligence in one category. Like, you're the kind of person who judges a fish by its ability to climb a tree, and you know what I mean? Like, that's just fucking.
This is boring.
You're boring. You're fucking. Why doesn't God exist?
Get back to me when you can explain the difference between reality and fundamental reality.
Well, I'll tell you this much. There's only one truth, no matter what any of us think. So, there you go. Basically, to me, a fundamental reality is just our physical experience here on Earth as a biological being. The real reality of the situation is...
She's gone.
Hello. I know. I'm explaining it to the rest of them. That's what I know she's gone. I know she left. I didn't feel like engaging with her. But anyways, for anybody that was curious what I meant, the way I identify with a fundamental reality is just basically my experience as a biological human being on this three-dimensional Earth. Now, the actual actual reality of the thing is I'm a deity, an entity that's living inside this three-dimensional world, but my real reality is that I am forever, and this world is not my whole truth. Like, there's everlasting life after this world. This world is just here.
Got some evidence of this?
I have my own personal evidence.
Right,
like
I understand that.
I've had out-of-body experiences and things like that.
That's fine. So
and the only evidence
you're going to be in heaven alone because you're the only one who's having this personal experience.
Right.
And
No, I'm
you
not.
You admit that it's your personal experience, but not everybody. So not everybody is going to live forever or whatever the hell you think you're going to do. We're all going to die, and oblivion is our future. But you're going to live forever.
That's hey man, if you want to fucking manifest your existence into non-existence, then that's your own problem. Like, if you don't realize how powerful of a being you are and how lucky you are to be here in this position on Earth, that's your own problem, bro. That's not my problem.
Do you know me to be able to say that?
By what you just said, yeah, I mean, I get a pretty good understanding that your life, I mean, if you don't believe there is an afterlife, then what is the meaning of this life? Because it's pretty much like you don't even fucking exist now.
There's no meaning to life. Life is just...
All right, see.
Imaginable number of Earth-like planets. It's not going to overcome the improbability of all of these coding sequences that would have to linearly line up. And so the guy became a deist before he died because of this single fact.
So, okay, well, I mean, I would have to grasp, like, have a rudimentary understanding of the numbers to even...
Joke. I think, yeah, if that's what you mean, yeah, it's quite possible he might alter his behavior. All right, I'm going to publish it, John. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, you do what you gotta do, Tom.
Oh, I'm asking my Welsh friend to go into Darth's room. John.
Do it, man. Do it. See what happens.
Yeah,
Darth puts on a false nose. He puts on a false nose and glasses, and Darth like, oh, that's someone else. He's so dumb.
Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
Jack, what do you think Darth will do?
I think he's going to hit the roof.
But do you think he might also have a desire to not give Tom what he wants?
I don't think he'll be able to help himself.
Wow.
Yeah, I could see him just like being completely silent on it. I really don't know because he's so against trying to especially if it was something not about racism, maybe, but he really tries to not fuel that discussion at all.
I will also say this: any particular issue that Darth has had with me, he has never communicated with me in public. It was always in the back channel.
Yeah.
He blocked me.
So if there's anything, I mean, I haven't received any messages yet like that, so we'll see.
See?
Yeah, he blocked my sock. I can't get in.
Can we get a volunteer to go into Darth's room and let him know about the video?
Well, James is tired. Just messaged me to say he's going in there.
Nice. Will you tell him to tell him?
Yeah, I'll ask him.
Oh my God, John, you know why James is tired of doing that, right?
Oh, he's so petty. Love it.
You guys don't know James like I know James.
I'm gonna go listen.
Daniel, is your sock blocked by Darth? If not, Daniel?
Unimaginable number of trial planets. Okay. Are people surprised, Mike, when somebody wins a lottery? Well, no, they're not.
No.
Because
yeah, but Mike said it's because he was treading very lightly.
It almost sounded like Michael was saying that he was faking it.
Yeah, of course.
And to think
James
my wife
is in the room.
My wife thought he was very honest. I'm going to tell my wife about that guy. See what she says.
James wasn't there.
My wife is always
there.
That's why it's funny.
You know, I can still change the title, John. Do you think I should change the title? Do you think it's still?
Don't ask me. You're the production guy.
But do you think it captures, the essence of what the video is about?
Well, I mean, I like titles myself. I mean, I think it grabs people's attention for rooms I create and things like that. But I don't know. I feel it's awkward for me to even contribute in any way toward what you're.
Wait, you said it grabs the attention for rooms. Are you saying that this title will make you more notorious? Thus, more people come to.
No, I was referring to when I used to make titles.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Some people like. Going to be bad for me.
Oh, there's already some comments.
Oh, wow. It's weird John's not asking you not to
He's
show
on
it.
stage. He's on stage. He's on stage.
Oh my God! Somebody please type it in.
It's off. I think people will be like, I don't think that's actually.
Is that too loud? Or is that okay?
You might say that way lower than 50, but let's say it's 50. Now, if you get to 150, is anybody actually think that somebody's going to correctly pick 150 numbers that are randomly come out of the freaking Powerball deal? I doubt it. And then let's add an additional factor into it where not only do you have to pick them, you have to pick them in the correct order they're going to come out. Not just that they came out at all, they had to come out in the correct order.
Hey, Tom Rabbit!
I mean, if somebody
I
won
hope
that
you got this for your
numbers
recording.
In a row,
Hey, you.
I mean, people be like, I think that was rigged. Now let's say, okay, well, maybe it could happen one time.
YouTube out there, Tom Rabbit likes to record these. Hey, Tom Rabbit!
Oh, I think Darth Dawkins is very miserable.
What makes you think that?
Because of his abrasiveness, deliberate abrasiveness.
And you think that's an indication of?
I think it's an indication of frustration that he might be experiencing, and it's a sort of an outlet to kind of let off steam, in other words.
Come on up, Ashley. See, we cannot get any intelligent and mature-minded atheists who won't lie, deceive, evade, be obnoxious. Well, what would you like to say, Ashley?
I'm not actually an atheist. I'm basically, do you know a guy called John Lee?
Yes.
Do you mind if I tell you 3 quotes that he said today?
Is it germane to the topic?
Not really.
Okay, well, go ahead anyway.
So the first one he said today was, if one of your sons came home with a black girlfriend, you would tell the girlfriend to get the fuck out.
Mm-hmm. And why should I believe you that he said that?
It's recorded.
Okay, well, provide me with a link to it.
John, in your heart of hearts, right, as you would say, do you think that when his daughter was a teenager and she came home with a black boyfriend, in your heart of hearts, right, look, God is witnessing you into this question right now. Tell me that you think he would never say anything about it to anyone.
I think he wouldn't be afraid to say, "Get the F out of here."
There you go. And why would he be saying that?
I'm not even going that far. I don't think he would. But I think he would have thoughts to himself.
I think he would.
You know what? I think it might depend on whether it was like someone at Harvard, you know, who looked like, is it Carlton? That I think he would tolerate. Like he'd tolerate, you know, his little friends, J. Robin and all those. But if it was someone who was a bit more edgy, you know, if you brought home Jay-Z.
You mean that they'd be acceptable if they were more white?
Exactly right. Yes, that's what white acting. If she brought home a struggle rapper, you know, with like neck tattoos, I think it'd be like, get the fuck out.
Oh, but if he had a bow tie and glasses, and he's black.
I think he would. I think he wouldn't be thrilled, but I think he would be like, he would be more like accepting. I'm just saying, the more white acting the boy would be, the more okay he'd be with it. You know,
I don't think he'd be okay with either case.
You're taking a stronger view than me, John. That's pretty funny.
So why are you telling me about John Lee? Do I care?
I don't know. Do you want to hear the second?
No, not really. Have a nice day. Wow. All we get are trolls. Okay?
If he said
I have to say something. This guy, he messaged me and he said, his name is Jordan Brown. He said that John Lee said Darth is obviously racist. John Lee also said Darth likes to watch black people being shot. I don't know if this is true or not, but it's John Lee.
Well, I doubt that's what John Lee said, but even if he did say it, so.
John, did you know that Darth subscribes to multiple police body cam channels, and he very much is entertained by policemen blowing away criminals, people that don't listen to their authority? What do you think of that?
I think that's kind of strange.
Yeah, I heard him.
Yeah. Why do you think that's strange? Just because it's not commonly subscribed to on YouTube by people? Is that the reason you think it's strange, John?
Well, statistically, you know, the racial profile of the sheer number of people that cops engage are very high. Blacks represent 13% of the U.S. population.
Here it comes.
When it comes
what are you trying to say, John?
Are you trying to say they're more criminal because they're black? Is that it?
No. It's just the case.
I think that John is trying to say that the reason Darth likes those channels so much is that black people are being shot.
Something like that. That's what I was getting at, yeah.
Wow, John. Do you think that Darth has a disdain for black culture?
Probably so. I've heard of things like MLK. I've definitely personally heard of him talk about that in a sort of angry tone.
He's reported making some...
What?
Yeah, I'm just saying that, yeah, I mean, I do get that sense a little bit. Yeah, I'm just saying that, yeah, I mean, I do get that sense a little bit of some sort of resentment, toward an actual race, and I can feel that a little bit.
Did you catch that, Tom Rabbit? Hope you upload that to you.
Yeah, well, he did.
On YouTube, and the things John said is that basically Darth Lee's racist. So that's where we're at right now. What you may not know is that John and Darth are currently buds. They're friends, and we're just speculating. Sorry, James, about how Darth will react. So that's you.
Got it. Thank you.
and likes watching blacks get shot. In your titles, man.
Take it back to like the origin of the genetic code and such. It would be the equivalent of saying, "Oh, I speak English, and I yell at a wall, and somehow the wall is going to interpret what I'm saying." I mean, it's more like, it's like, oh, well, just because the wall heard the sound wave, billions and billions of times, are you going to sit here and try and tell me that the wall somehow began to interpret what the sound waves meant? Of course, nobody would ever say that, right? However, they argue that this is what happened in the formation of the genetic code, and it's incoherent. But anyway,
now I forget what I was going to say. Okay, if there's anybody in the audience who would like to ask questions on this topic or dispute what either John or myself are saying about evolution, or you just want to ask or debate the issue of atheism versus Christianity, you're free to raise your hand and come up and speak your mind.
Morning, Darth.
Yes, Rabbit. Go ahead, Rabbit.
Yeah, this is my kid's pet rabbit. I was showing somebody last night, and I left it. But it's actually kind of funny because I'm in the Tom Rabbit room, and I'm listening to the atheist and John Lee go back and forth. And I don't know if anybody knows this, but John Lee's been spreading rumors about me. And apparently he's in the atheist rooms, and now there's a video on Tom Rabbit of him telling everybody you hate black people.
Wait a minute. Who's saying that I hate black people?
John Lee, the same guy who spread rumors about me.
Wow, that's shocking that he says I hate black people. What rumors is he spreading about you?
So back before I was a Christian, I identified as being bisexual. I don't anymore, but what John Lee told people was that in my marriage, that I potentially have stepped outside of my marriage with a man. He's told people that I used to get dressed up in makeup and go to special parties. And he's since walked a lot of this back, but it's just the problem that he consistently wants to mention people. And when I was in the other room...
So what you're saying is he is making slanderous and defamatory and unfounded accusations about you.
Yes. And in this case, he's got, I think they even published it on Tom Rabbit, like 5 to 6 minutes of him just going off about how you're racist, you hate black people, you wouldn't want your daughter to marry a black man, and all kinds of stuff.
Do you have a link and a timestamp to where he says that?
I'll be back in a little bit,
It's
guys.
the most recent video. I think Tom said he was releasing it as they were, because they played it for us in the other room. I was shocked because he was like, even the atheist didn't say that you wouldn't want her to marry a black man, but he kept doubling down that no matter any circumstance that you would not want that to happen.
It wouldn't bother me at all if one of my children married somebody who was not, white. What would bother me is if the person was, I considered to be a lowlife. Okay?
So the video is...
Yeah, look, these people, look, this is how desperate these people are, that they have to repeat these rumors, that these slanderous accusations that I'm racist, which I'm not. Come on up, Sigmund.
Okay, I found the video being referred to on Tom Rabbit's channel.
Can you send me the link or the timestamp?
I'm about to DM you. It's only 6 minutes long.
Thank you very much. Sigmund Freud, welcome.
Hi, Darcy. I have been following you for a while, and I really do like listening to you.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, really, I do learn.
Yeah.
It
Wow.
does. I'd have to hand it to James. He does a much better job than you did that.
He did, of course he did. He's got a lot of animosity towards you, so
Yeah, he did. He did really well. The only thing that I could have been, he actually kind of played down what we're working with here. So instead of saying like, "Oh, you dislike black people," it would have been much more effective. He would have said, "He's saying you like to watch black people getting shot and killed."
Oh, that would have been a good one to see a reaction.
I think the lesson here is don't piss James's tide off, guys.
Now with John Lee,
absolutely.
There's something funny here. Like on the one hand, he seems like a little excited about the idea of Darth getting triggered, right? Even though he probably has some ambivalence about it, right?
Hey, John, are you
It's because at John's heart, he is a troll. It doesn't matter who he's trolling.
Maybe it's like a
really
child
excited by the idea of like Darth powder kegging, right?
Maybe it's a
like,
child playing with
oh wow,
fire,
this is really James really did a good job.
Yeah, he's not even mad at James. Amazing.
Or why would I be mad at James?
Because he's like trying to put you in the shit. Like clearly motivated to cause trouble. I mean, why wouldn't he?
From what I know about James, he just gets it out of his system, and then he'll beat James again. That's how I look at it.
So this is payback.
Apparently, it's not yet out of his system.
You're accepting the payback, right?
Well, what else am I going to do? Acceptance is the key.
So he doesn't really yet know. Darth doesn't really know about the I think which is the worst one that John thinks that Darth enjoys watching black people being murdered because they're black. So James didn't really say it. He hasn't really watched it, so he hasn't probably seen the title yet, right? When he sees that, he's going to kind of understand what John has done here is kind of on a different level than what he thinks currently.
Well, I mean, I'm actually thinking about possibly texting him right now, but I'm not sure.
Good idea. Damage control.
Great idea, John. Great
Can
idea.
you actually text him? He hasn't blocked you yet.
No, I could text him. I just checked a few minutes ago.
Well, he's obviously gonna listen to the video, right? So what exactly are you gonna say in your text?
The video was edited hard, very badly by Tom Rabbit, and Tom Rabbit was trying to put Darth and John Lee in.
Yeah, you could say that. What are you gonna say, John?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is me thinking that he would have a problem with his daughter. He expressed that he wouldn't have a problem with someone who's non-white, but he did specify something. If he's like a hoodlum or something like that, and which is kind of more in line with what you said, Hayden, right? And
well, except what I think when he says low life, that is what he's thinking about.
So I might I don't know.
Oh, so just because he said it, you're just gonna be like, oh, I guess I was wrong about my opinion?
No, I'm not gonna say it that way. But I'm gonna mention it just to acknowledge that I'm aware of what someone's position is. I always think that's important. It doesn't have to be agreement.
It's gonna be a tricky thread to needle.
It's kind of like, I mean, it's great for us. It really doesn't matter what happens. I think it's going to be a victory for us, because if he doesn't lash out at John, well, then it just like completely invalidates all his accusations and proclamations about how he really thinks that people that call him a racist are like scum and stuff like that, right? So it doesn't really matter
now
what happens.
The only other thing this is what's tricky for me right now. The narrative that James kind of put out there was almost sounded like I'm here trying to defame Darth Dawkins, right? That's really not my intention. But I'm not afraid to speak my opinions. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, I don't want to say, I'm not trying to spread false rumors about you, because then that kind of a denial is kind of strange.
You're trying to spread the truth about him, right? You think that'll sound better?
Neither. It's actually neither. I'm not trying to spread anything.
Oh, you just told it to, who did you tell it to? Oh yeah,
Inquiring Minds.
Inquiring Minds, who have a YouTube channel.
I have the recording of James telling Darth about the video if you need it.
It's like, telling Woodward, look, I'm not trying to, spread the truth or anything. I just want you, investigative reporter, to know.
Yeah, like I said, I think that Darth might not react at all, because that's kind of how he kind of wants to play this. I think it's just a matter if he can control himself. Right?
He seemed pretty pissed.
He laughed pretty hard on that one, and I was trying to gauge to see if it was like a fake laugh or a real laugh.
He hasn't hit the video yet. Remember,
remember, hearing it makes all the difference.
Yeah, he seemed to have a lot of experience with that.
Yes,
I definitely noticed a difference after you played for James. But here was the thing. That looping thing definitely works a lot of times. I remember the first time that you looped something that I was adamant that no, that's not what happened, and I think that looping is what got me to block you. When I think about it, it's pretty effective.
So you're going to say to Darth, I'm not slandering you. I actually believe everything I said is true. Because I don't know if that's going to make it any better. Maybe a little, I don't know. Darth doesn't like liars.
No.
That's true.
Let me see if I can read some
comments. There's no need to be adamant about something, Especially
let me see if I can read some of the comments about you and John Lee. John Lee not lying for once? I am shocked. Legitimately shocked. John is going on the naughty step.
Hey, it's Rich.
What is going on? Has John Lee seen the light? Another comment says, John Lee really, really likes Costco. Wonder what that one's about.
Unbelievable.
John confirmed to me now that his videos accurately represent his views. That's a good comment. Shit, I have to agree with John Lee. First sign of the pending apocalypse. Tom has broken John Lee. John Lee is defaming Darth because John Lee's BFF, Matt Adams, has moved over to Team Darth.
Nice.
Wow.
Like that. That was my theory.
The speculation. It's uncredited.
I'll say this, I think that if she brought a black Christian guy home who believes in everything Darth spews, like J-Rob and Veckle or Tonlock, he'd be okay with it. Probably not the average black guy, though. John Lee, more honest than Veckle, confirmed. Now you're actually getting a lot of positive comments here, because you seem to be not towing the party line, right?
It's like when you get a comment against Donald Trump from a Republican or something,
Well, this is good for your reputation. This is actually, this is really good. You're getting people back on side.
Like,
I mean, not so much the Costco thing, but yeah, the other stuff. Yeah, it's good for your reputation.
What's that lady from Wyoming? Or is it Montana?
What lady?
I don't know, there's a lot of people from there, John, that I can't really narrow it down from what you're saying.
It's the congresswoman, daughter of...
Oh, Liz Cheney.
Liz Cheney.
Yeah, I think that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, she...
like a Liz Cheney moment where you have all these... Oh, she's so honest.
Yeah. Or like a reverse Sister Soldier moment.
Yeah, I mean, this might be it, John.
He is in the necessities for our very existence. And like I said, people will either blind themselves to the obvious or they take gigantic leaps of faith. That's where we are now with the knowledge we have scientifically.
And I have a question here, guys.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so forget about the 13.8 billion years and forget about the Big Bang and all this blah blah blah. Don't you think that the Bible allows, using hermeneutics or whatever they say, allows us to interpret it in a way that allows us to accept those fossils evidence and DNA evidence that would tell us that the age of Earth / the universe goes beyond those 8 or 10 or 11,000 years old?
Well, my response is no. Do you want to comment, John?
I mean, you'd like this area, but I would just say the first off point of that would be our DNA evidence, the quote-unquote DNA evidence, doesn't exist. It is all inference. The DNA analysis is conducted on extant.
No, thank you.
Wow, that's it?
No, of course not.
John Lee. ...
Okay.
In the completely inert apologies. Is that what form we're going? Your apologies have no teeth, John.
Yeah,
do you actually think I would apologize?
Well, you said you were thinking about it the other day.
Well, if you're not going to apologize, like, what are you going to say?
Did I actually think that? Did I actually say I'm thinking about apologizing, Edie?
No, I assumed it would be apologetic.
Repenting would be an idea, wouldn't it, John?
Isn't the idea to do some kind of damage control?
Apologies don't really mean a lot.
I mean, I don't consider it damage control. That's not how I would characterize it.
Well, I hope you realize what's happening around. I'm looking at the room, right? So, Darth is kind of like already engaged in this like stupid evolution talk with like John Maddox, and so what James is tired is doing is he's so committed, fucking you in the ass. Who's this hot back here? Is that Godless?
What?
Like I said, you guys don't know, but I mean, that's far more fascinating to me than anything is the James is tired situation.
Look. He's sitting there in the room, muted, waiting for the conversation to sort of run its course so that he can pick back up the conversation about you.
It's kind of like Daniel. He strategically waited for a particular topic until James was tired was there, and then he sprung it. Almost like that. Daniel's timing is probably a little bit better, but I mean, it's interesting how James said what he said, as if I'm on a campaign to defame both him and Darth, which is actually not correct, but that's okay.
Uh-oh. John Maddox left, John. It's bad news for you. And there's no buffer between you and Darth.
Update. Does that mean I should go in there?
Yeah, James is tired of talking directly to Darth now.
Oh, okay. I didn't know he was still on stage.
James just tried to talk to Darth. Darth responded. He might be watching the video. Wonder if John could go in there and like. That would probably be the most impressive thing. If John could go in there and just like somehow just smooth it over and turn it into a nothing burger. Right, you got like Tom Rabbit made the video, then you got James is tired like pushing this. Like if John could go in there and make it a nothing burger, I gotta admit that would be very impressive.
Well, one thing I will not do is to point fingers at you or Haiti or anyone else for that matter. That I know I wouldn't do.
Well, that's good. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
like, you're right.
You
It's
know,
like
I
you're
deliberately added Hades' name in there. I thought she was going to jump and say something, to be honest. I just
But no, John. If you remember, I agreed with you before when you said like, because Darth is very, 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 very much as you described, and like you push something too hard, he'll like want to like make it a non-issue if he would like where he would otherwise be, it would have been an issue, right? Part of me thinks you should actually try and like take advantage of that while you can. If you're gonna say something.
Oh, what do you mean? Take advantage of what again?
Well, there's like it's being pushed aggressively, like by James currently, right? And he you know what I mean? So he's like, it's kind of like the backfire effect.
Yeah, I thought he tried to sell a little too hard. But I mean, you know,
It's weird. Darth's very quiet. Have you gotten any messages yet?
Have I
Check your
gotten
messages.
any messages? I could
Yeah. It's too quiet. I might have messaged you. Telling you your scumbags.
Oh, I didn't.
What's going on with this? Why do you keep doing that?
So, I mean, I'm just noticing now. Last night, Derek Lee texted me. Says, "Can come to my room to let me know what happened?" So Derek's interested.
Yeah,
But that was
Derek
like
Lee,
last
you know,
night.
it's Derek Lee for you, just trying to be like rigorous and just like trying to get the actual facts.
Yeah, I've been a little slow on some of my messages. Okay.
John, like I understand. Would you consider going in there now, just to like try and I don't know, like completely just squelch it? I'm not saying you ought to or anything, but I'm actually curious if like in a big way to see like what kind of abilities you have in that situation.
Oh, what kind of? You want to see what kind of? You know what, Tom? These type of situations, I think I'm actually pretty skilled, if I don't say so myself. I don't really have, outside of the internet, I don't have many enemies at all, if at all. And usually,
Yeah, I think you might be able to, based on like maybe. I don't know. It's possible. Yeah, maybe. But Darth left. But I would have really wanted to. Would have liked to see how you could have played that. It's a difficult play.
I don't think so. I mean, listen. Here's the issue: is that you guys know Darth far better than I do. But also, I've had, conversations with him just to be able to get a gauge of what this guy's about. And
hold on, I have to interrupt. So,
I don't think it's that difficult.
The room that Darth was just in, he left. Because Darth left, James has turned on his mods. is now using it as a platform to like tell everybody about you, and he posted and he pinned the link to the video also.
That's okay. I don't mind. No, but it's more of like a curiosity and entertainment to me. Like I said, James is more interesting to me than Darth right at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I definitely would want to observe that. John, go to the room.
Well, actually, I thought I was going to go on text right now. That's what I'm thinking about doing.
He left anyway.
Yeah, but James is there. You were going to go on text right now? What does that mean? What's he talking about?
Yeah, he's offline right now, but I'm not blocked anyway. That's encouraging. I think he
he's seen it
blocked
yet.
me yesterday.
I just don't think he's watched it yet.
What was that?
I don't think he's watched it yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And I guess you keep saying that once he watches it, it's going to be night and day or something?
Saying the video ... That's like not gonna. I don't even know what the purpose of that message is.
No. When I said ... I didn't mean it literally ... That's what I'm going to say. I was going to fill in the blank with a paragraph or two.
You know what I was going to say, though? Because is that just as far as you've got? The ...
No. I already have in mind. I just didn't want to tell you guys what the ... after that.
Why not?
Probably because, I don't know. Probably because I consider it a little private, maybe.
Oh, that's a bit private. Okay.
No, probably not because I mind it, but I just left it at ... meaning like.
Oh, he's gonna be like, maybe take some sort of like casual comments about like the content of the video, and just like these are just my observations, and it's gonna end with something like, maybe this is a good opportunity for like self-introspection.
Oh no, I would never say that. I would never say that.
I think he's not telling us because he's saying something that's gonna like try and blame us and point out to Darth that this is all just a campaign, and
Yeah, I wouldn't do that either.
Oh, okay. I guess we're lost.
That's the worst thing to try to like pass the buck.
Spin it. Yeah.
That's even worse than what Tom was saying. Well, those are the two things I would definitely not say. Yeah, I already told you I'd probably mention what he said to James. So, I mean, just in a certain way.
James has pinned the video as well. That's brilliant.
I know. That's so James. You know, what's funny is I have like words about that type of thing, but then again, I don't want to make things worse, so I just keep my opinions to myself, I guess.
Just think though, John, like, this could have all been avoided if you just said sorry.
True. Oh, I don't look at. I think this is a good thing.
Oh my god.
Good thing.
Yeah. It could have been avoided if you just hadn't speculated on either person. You just kept your mouth shut.
I mean, I just have a very strange perspective of life where, you know, people have this, oh, I should have done this, and just fret over something. You know, it was a mistake that I did that. And the way I look at things is, okay, the milk is spilled, right? So what are you going to do, right? You're going to cry over it? Or what are you going to do? You're going to pick up something and make it, and you're going to mop the floor better than it's ever been mopped before. And it's going to be sparkling. And it's a good thing that the milk spilled, because look how immaculate this floor is. It's kind of like that. That's how I look at things.
Yeah, but if you, like, at least learn not to speculate. Like you said to me the other day, you shouldn't have speculated.
Yeah, I mean, there are lessons there, too. Now, yeah, that's a whole different other thing. But you're correct. Like I said, those are learning opportunities as well, right? Sometimes we got to get kicked in the rear before, like, we actually change behaviors that are detrimental to ourselves. So,
yeah, but do you think you're going to stop doing it because you said you speculated with Justin, you was wrong. You speculated with James, you was wrong. You speculate with Darth. Now it's going to go wrong for you. Do you think you're going to learn?
I don't think it's necessarily wrong. I think I mentioned it in one of those recordings that to speculate about certain things. In James's case, it was just misinformation that I thought it was true, and so that's not speculation. That's more. The only speculation was my memory of the picture and describing it and what it represented behind it, which is if the picture was doctored or if it was, I don't know, if it was real and the entailments of that is not real but my imagination, well, some of those things are probably irresponsible. But I look at it like there's things to learn in everything. But I'm not gonna kick myself over it, you know, to the point where, you know, I can't move forward. I mean, I don't think that's healthy for anybody.
No, I mean, I like you speculating because it gives good content, so carry on.
One thing about apologies, let's say, like, you're sorry about something, like genuinely sorry, right? But someone still is maybe not as merciful, maybe. That happens because they're genuinely mad. That's okay. But if they're not willing to forgive you or release you of the so-called debt, right? I think it would be wrong of me to try to enable that in a sense of trying to like placate. And a lot of people do that. I think it's a mistake. So I don't take that route. Even though, and if that causes them to be even more mad and even more addictive, hostile, whatever, well then to me, it's something for them to learn in life, and it's not for me to just try to teach them that in a sense. They have to learn it on their own. They either do learn it on their own or they don't. It's kind of out of my control.
Yeah, you're a nihilist.
I just love these labels. Just throw some labels out there.
You're a nihilist, John?
No, of course not.
One way you could know if an apology is genuine if the person changes their behavior, which is the opposite of.
Yeah, no, that's also correct. Like the question is, okay, like I apologize for something. How genuine is it? I mean, like you said, Haiti, the proof is in a changed behavior.
Yeah.
Is it repetitive? Sometimes, when people are a little bit powerless over their own behaviors, in a sense, one can be genuinely apologetic, but right in the next day they're back doing the same thing they apologized for, and one can't help it, right? And they fret over that as well. They're very conscious of it, and so that's not to say that it wasn't genuine. I would say it's genuine. They just have issues in correcting a bad habit. It's almost
is that your issue?
Now, in this particular situation, Adi, I don't think it really kind of applies. Although there are situations what you're talking about that absolutely do. But also the sincerity of it also is not necessarily represented in the actions subsequent to the apology.
Look, it absolutely applies to you. You claimed your apology to James was sincere, and then you kind of repeated the behavior and kind of made a joke about it several times. If someone apologizes and thinks they did something wrong, and then they just do the same thing the next day and like find it amusing, that is what I'm talking about. That just proves the apology wasn't sincere because you weren't actually remorseful.
Well, I was very specific at what I was remorseful about, which was irresponsibly passing on information that I thought was true.
Yeah, and that's why the apology was seen as half-assed.
Tail-bearing.
Right. Because you weren't remorseful about the other things that James was mad at you about.
Right, and the concerns, some of the concerns that James had, one of which was that he had warned me days prior. Like, what am I going to do when I don't agree with his expectation of what ought to have happened after that discussion? I don't read minds. I mean, like I said, you can call me dumb, you can call me ignorant of social norms, whatever, maybe not attentive, whatever the case is. I'll accept all of those, but how he was characterizing it, I mean, how can I accept what I don't think is the case?
But John, you understood it then, right?
No, I did not.
No, I mean during the apology moment.
Oh, yeah.
When he said...
Yes.
Okay, so you did it again.
What do you mean I did it again?
You went and found that picture of him where he looked like he was wearing makeup, and you publicized it. Are you claiming you still don't know why he has a problem with it?
Oh, yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It was a late night joke. There was only a few people around. I put it up for just a few seconds. And I think my question was, do you think James would be mad if I had this PFP on for a while or something like that? I think I asked. And then I took it right off. But then Daniel decided to bring it up.
And then you put it back on again. Then you put it
Well,
back
he
up.
asked me to.
Oh, he asked you to. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like that kind. Okay. I mean, those are the kind of things I just do. I mean,
you have to just do something because somebody asks you to.
No, that's a whole different thing. I'm just like I just have this practical joker type of thing. Like, let's say we're in a hotel or something. I'll call them pretending I'm housekeeping or something, and I'll make some sort of comments. And I just do that. I mean, I've been doing that, and my friend's not offended because they're my friend. But
you're like
in this
David
particular
Brent.
case, it's a little different.
Yeah, I just don't get it because, like, someone does something to me, and maybe they didn't realize it would upset me, right? That's fine. So I say, okay, that upset me. Maybe you didn't mean to. Please don't do it again, right? And that person says, okay, got it. And then they do it again. Like, they don't have any excuse anymore, right? And nor did you. And you're saying you're a practical joker. You're just not respecting your friend's wishes. It's just...
What's the joke?
I think to me it was like, come on, are you saying there's like no pictures around? Almost so, but that's fine, right? I mean, he's obviously upset. He thinks I'm making up lies in order to defend. This is what he believes, right? There's nothing. I don't think there's much that I could say. Listen, James, this is the actual truth, and that he would accept. Yeah, I believe that. Right now, whatever I tell him is just going to be lie after lie. So it'd be wrong for me to just keep pushing something in defense of myself, and to further complicate, to say that I think you're mistaken on A, B, C, and D. You know, I think it'd just make it worse.
It's just avoidance. It's just gaslighting.
What's
you
your
think
defense?
It's avoidance?
No, what's I'm curious.
Hey,
what is your
Tom
defense?
Rabbit!
Did something against someone's wishes, and you admitted you did it. What is your defense?
No, I reject that it's done against someone's wishes. It's done against someone's perceived wishes. There's a difference.
What the fuck does that mean? What's a perceived wish versus a wish?
He thinks that there's some communication to intimate to me that in the future I ought to be careful about certain issues.
The teacher,
He's convinced
teacher.
that I understood, and I deliberately ignored that and disrespected that. That is not correct.
No, stop. Hang on. I heard you say you knew he didn't like you to post that picture. Then you did it again because someone told you to do it. So I'm not understanding your line of logic. And
Yeah,
you
I
talk
think
to
you have
people,
no clue what
this.
that's
I
two separate
not a
subjects.
clue. You know, John, do you talk to people the way you speak online in real life?
Yeah,
He
I
doesn't
think
talk to anybody.
you're jumping to conclusions about what's even being talked
Dude, I
about.
didn't jump to any fucking conclusion. I asked a fucking
So
question.
I don't have an obligation to clarify anything.
No, you don't.
No, I do know that John does talk to people in real life. In fact, one time I heard a lawyer walk up to his car and said, "Hey, you can't park here." So I know for a fact that he does talk to people in real life.
Well, Tom, I'm curious as to the way he bloviates online. Does he talk that way in real life to people face to face? I just find that
Well, it's interesting you bring that up because once the lawyer told him, "Hey, you can't park here," he started talking about, different stories and carpet surfing and stuff like that, and so like it was all bloviating.
Oh, cool. That's at least he's consistent.
Eventually, he just threatened to call the cops and said, "Get out of here."
Well, at least he's consistent. That's good.
Are you trying
I don't see why I can't park here.
Wait a minute.
Did you notice how you believed every word you said?
Is there a sign that says I can't park?
May I finish, please?
This is perceiving I'm parking here. I'm not really parking here.
John's
like,
what's the definition of parking, sir?
John's a sovereign citizen. I'm traveling. I'm not driving.
Awesome. More feigning outrage.
I'm gonna give you a ticket. Well, that's your prerogative.
It is their prerogative.
Sir, you have 500 unpaid parking tickets. You're going to have to go to jail. Well, that's your prerogative.
Well, sir, that's your opinion.
That's quite an imagination. 500 parking tickets, huh?
No, sir. It's only 499.
Yeah, but Tom, I think the James's Tires is far more interesting than Darth. I've always known that.
Then what? More interesting than what?
And Darth?
Oh yeah, several times over.
I'm just curious that your claim that because he didn't specifically say, and therefore please never mention it again, that it wasn't just sort of pretty obvious to anyone.
Not even close to obvious.
Answers in the chat. Okay. Someone says, I've got X in my past. My enemies who may or may not be dangerous want to capitalize on it and spread it around YouTube. And that's concerning to me. Right? And that's all they say. Would you infer from that to keep the X that is in this person's past somewhat quiet and not put it on blast? Answers in the chat.
There's a lot of things that James says. For example, he'll repeat maybe 50 times that he's been declared an enemy of Islam by his buddy Jake, the Muslim metaphysician, and I was there throughout the whole thing. And the point is that, in terms of like a fatwa type of thing, situation where his life might be in danger or whatever he tries to put out there. And if it's the case that I say, well, he has a lot of Eastern Orthodox guys, Coptic and Jai, Milos, and all those other guys that do polemics against Islam. Well, then, depends on the person themselves. It could be that if they're upset about this, they say, John, listen, didn't I tell you that my life has even been threatened because of these things, and now you want to talk about this? And see, you can just make up anything you want in a sense of just being upset about something, right? And so I don't.
Why don't you just say you're not sorry?
Yeah, well, but I'm saying,
what's the whole facade of like pretending to
or
apologize?
that? There's just several things that I know James. I know the things he talks about, right? And that the things that he repeats. There was literally no reason for me to think what he said the days prior. Now I do understand that, especially if the information that I had said was false, and the reaction that he got, all of these things. It's just my opinion that he's just adding that to all of this to just build a case of violation, that he's been injured, right? That's how I look at it, Haiti. And so when you look at that particular instance, I just think my belief is that there was really no get the message, please don't talk about. I didn't get not even a smidgen of that. When he says
hey,
it,
John, let's say that you cheated on your wife, right? And it's like actually true, right? Should I go around telling people that you cheated on your wife because it's hypothetically speaking, of course?
Are you saying I cheated on my wife?
Oh my God!
Hypothetically speaking, of course.
I didn't get the hypothetical. You might have to repeat that.
Let's say you're cheating on your wife, right? And I go around telling people that you're cheating on your wife. Is it okay because you were in truth cheating on?
No, it's not the same thing. It's not analogous.
Why?
Why are you doing
Why is it not analogous?
on a Christian
It could get you in trouble.
in a public forum?
It could affect your personal, outside world life. People could use it against you. Why is it not analogous?
Like, for example, Sean, I'll give you a good example.
I'm only recording it. It's
I
not
used
my
to smoke
fault
crack.
what these people say.
I admit I used to smoke crack. Some people hear that, and they, for whatever reason, malicious or otherwise, there comes in both cases. Sometimes maliciously, they'll call me a crackhead. Hey,
See, now that's not analogous because you've already admitted that you smoke crack.
Sir?
So that's not analogous.
Sometimes
because James didn't
let me
admit.
finish, sir. And so sometimes it is the case that another person will say, yeah, he used to smoke, he used to do a lot of drugs, and he became a Christian. And
see, that's not analogous, though.
So my point is this, okay? In this particular case, I would be the latter, in a sense that he's talked about it before publicly. He's not about that anymore, from my understanding, right? And so, in fact, it was a discussion. You, of all people, should know I was not trying to malign him, certainly not. In fact, strangely and ironically, I was actually trying to defend an accusation that he was prudish. Now, it ended up what it did, but, I mean, my conscience is clear. And if you want to blame me, that's okay, too. You're entitled.
Defend an accusation that he was prudish?
You know how Christians hate to be called prudish, right? They want people to think they're absolute debauched individuals, It's not really an insult to call a Christian prudish. That's kind of part of the...
Now, one of the things you got upset about, Haiti, was I said, I think I wrote something like, we as Christians